Chapter 968, 10 Extreme Immortal Zombie Lifeless Formation. Old man Yan Shur sighed. Heaven's will is not a physical enemy. It is everywhere, vast and boundless. As long as the 5 regions and 9 heavens exist, heaven's will is eternal. Even if you destroy a portion of heaven's will, at the same time, another portion of heaven's will would be created. The young Gu Immortal was stupefied. Then what do we do? What we are doing is defying heaven, so heaven's will is our greatest enemy. After 100,000 years of preparation, we are going to unleash an explosive strike. There is a common saying, man proposes, heaven disposes. But right now we will be taking action all of a sudden, catching heaven's will unprepared. This can be considered to be man winning against heaven. While old man Yan Shur spoke to Wu Shi, he pointed with his finger. The 10 extreme immortal zombie lifeless formation we set up has already entrapped all the southern border Gu immortals nearby. But only a small portion of this formation has been set. It cannot even display 1/10 of its might. The tribulations are constantly affecting the Gu formation. The formation won't last long at this rate. Next, I and some other Gu immortals will sacrifice our souls in setting up this formation. With this, the formation can display 90% of its might, only lacking a step for completion. The southern border Gu immortals will have no more chance to escape. So powerful. The young Gu immortals stared with wide-open eyes, looking blankly. Old man Yan Shur continued in a serious tone. After I die, you will be the strongest of us. You need to remember, you were born from a dream realm and only have 18 hours of lifespan in total. Every 2 hours, your cultivation will rise by 1 rank. Right now, you have just advanced to rank 7. Your lifespan only has 4 hours remaining. The stronger you become, the closer your death approaches. When you advance to rank 9, no one can defend from even 1 attack of yours. Rank 9 is so powerful? The young Gu Immortal had a look of ignorance. Old man Yan Shur chuckled. Of course, rank 9 is the limit in the whole world. It is the highest summit. This world cannot have rank 10, so rank 9 is the strongest. I can only live for 4 hours. Isn't the time too short? After 4 hours, will I die? Death, what is it? The young Gu Immortal asked questions one after another. Old man Yan Shur patiently explained. Everything has been planned properly. 4 hours is more than enough. Should the plan fail, even if you live longer, it won't change the outcome. As for death, old man Yan Shur paused, before speaking slowly with a quiet and deep voice. Death is the end of life, and is also the beginning of life. The young Gu Immortal scratched his head, not fully understanding this. Old man Yan Shur took a deep breath. His emaciated, aged body trembled in the wind, as if he would be blown away the next moment. He gazed far away. His eyes did not have whites, they were pitch black, but right now countless inverted images emerged in them. In the inverted images were Fang Yan, Bai Ning Bing, the 10 extreme immortal zombie lifeless formation, Heavenly Court's Gu Immortals, Southern Border Gu Immortals, Yi Tian Mountain, graceful chaotic dual stage. It's time. Old man Yan Shur spoke, but before I die, I will use my remaining lifespan to deduce for you. Remember my words, they will provide huge help to you. After he finished speaking, old man Yan Shur's life force started to quickly weaken. The next moment, he suddenly opened his eyes. For the first time, his face showed bewilderment, seemingly being puzzled and terrified of the result of the deduction. He turned his head with difficulty and looked at the childlike Gu Immortal with an extremely complicated gaze. His lips squirmed a few times before he finally let out several words. One of, us, be careful, failure. He revealed the heavenly secret with extreme difficulty. His body started turning into powder while he spoke, dissipating in the wind. When he said failure, he had no more time remaining. He completely dissipated and unraveled. His soul was absorbed by the formation, completely merging in an instant. Not only old man Yan Shur, a number of Shadow Sect's Gu Immortals also sacrificed themselves, their souls merging with the formation. 90%. 10 extreme, Immortal, zombie, lifeless formation. A vast radiance suddenly soared to the sky. At this moment, even the mighty heavenly tribulations and earthly calamities seemed to dim and lose their luster. The radiance was so dazzling, all the southern border goo immortals had to tightly close their eyes. The radiance passed in an instant, and the southern border goo immortals quickly opened their eyes. The entire area was covered by a gigantic goo formation. 10 goo immortals stood in the air, separated from each other, standing at the outermost periphery, seemingly encircling the group of southern border goo immortals. Among them, 9 goo immortals wore black robes, their appearances covered under their hoods, veiled in mystery. The last one was the young goo immortal, Ying Wuxi. He looked all around him with curiosity. After all, he had begun life just 14 hours ago. It was understandable he had a mindset of exploring the novelty of this world. What is going on? What happened? This goo formation has suddenly become much more powerful. Previously, under the bombardment of the tribulations, the formation had already been swaying unstably, but now it appeared like a giant reef at the seaside, unbreakable by the storm, standing firm and stable like a mountain. Sensing this situation, the hearts of the southern border goo immortals sank. Rank 8. Goo Immortal Ren Haiyang stopped protecting the Rank 6 Goo Immortals and chose a direction to attack the 10 Extreme Immortal Zombie Lifeless Formation. Merely putting up a facade, die, he shouted as he clapped his hands. A giant tsunami rose from thin air. The water was incomparably vast. With a roaring sound, it fiercely charged towards a black-robed Goo Immortal. Protect him! The other 3 Rank 8 Goo Immortals exerted themselves to block the tribulations overhead, protecting Ren Haiyang. With their help, Ren Haiyang had less pressure on him. He laughed heartily as he stopped holding back and activated his immortal essence again. Waves after waves erupted, giving a feeling of covering the sky and the sun, as if an ancient beast had opened its mouth to devour heaven and earth. Wu Shi wanted to go help, but was stopped by a black-robed Goo Immortal beside him. Stay at the formation core where you're located. Don't move recklessly. He can deal with it. Sure enough, the mysterious Goo Immortal, who faced the tsunami, suddenly sent out a burst of flames that soared to the sky. In an instant, with the black-robed Goo Immortal at the center, the surroundings turned into a seething world of lava. Waves over 30 meters in height smashed into the formation and evaporated into white vapor. Whoosh! Immediately afterwards, the fire roared as it spread quickly, the intense temperature clearing up the vapor in an instant. Such power! I almost cannot control it. The black-robed Goo Immortal was pleasantly surprised. He stood proudly in the center of the lava. The black robe on him was already mostly destroyed, revealing his true appearance. Fang Yuan's pupils shrunk. He recognized this person. The southern border Goo Immortals also exclaimed in surprise, "You actually are a 10 Extreme Immortal Zombie, blazing glory lightning brilliance." This person was precisely the blazing glory lightning brilliance zombie that had participated in the 100 Days battle and had successfully escaped. After he was captured by old ancestor Shehu, he was then saved by Blazing Heaven Demoness and others sent by Zombie Alliance. Who could have thought he would actually appear here? Could it be that the party scheming against the southern border Goo Immortals is Zombie Alliance? That can't be. If it were Zombie Alliance, it would be impossible for Blazing Heaven Demoness to not know of it. Perhaps Shadow Sect. These 2 words suddenly jumped into Fang Yuan's mind. Fang Yuan's whole body shuddered. The situation was becoming worse. His own circumstances were actually similar to the southern border Goo Immortals. He was also trapped here. Ren Haiyang's attack failed, and he could only discontentedly retreat. The tribulations from the sky rained down like a storm. Not only did they not halt for even a moment, their power also continued to grow greater. The air was mixed with constant sounds of shouting and screaming. The Rank 8 Goo Immortals could hardly look after themselves. Many bottom-tier Rank 6 had already lost their lives. These Goo Immortals, who stood high and mighty above the masses under normal circumstances, were as weak as chicks and pups in front of the tribulations. Many of the rank 7 Gu immortals could only be carried along by the tide, like a small raft in a stormy sea. They had no control over their circumstances, and with any slight carelessness, they could be swallowed by the waves. The tribulations were very difficult to face, but the 10 extreme immortal zombie lifeless formation firmly withstood them all and was unshakable, while the southern border Gu immortals were in a predicament. At this juncture of life and death, they let go of any previous enmity and collaborated. They soon realized their only remaining path to survival. That was the immortal Gu House graceful chaotic dual stage. This immortal Gu House had extraordinary defensive strength. It could block the vast and boundless tribulations and protect the Gu immortals. At the same time, the immortal Gu House's offensive prowess was also the most suitable weapon to break through the 10 extreme immortal zombie lifeless formation. The immortal Gu House, graceful chaotic dual stage that lay deep under the earth, was the hope of the southern border Gu immortals. Although the Forbidden Zone made it extremely difficult for the southern border Gu immortals to approach in person, it did not damage Immortal Gu. Though the powers of Immortal Gu were weakened greatly in there, they still surpassed the vast majority of mortal methods. Combine our strength to bombard Yi Tian Mountain and get hold of graceful, chaotic dual stage. Gu Immortal, Jia Yi shouted. However, the only remaining ones who still had such ample strength left were the 4 rank 8 Gu Immortals. The rank 7 Gu Immortals, dodging and defending desperately from the tribulations, had no energy to spare. The 4 rank 8s attacked furiously, but it did not affect Yiqian Mountain. The thick layer of clouds above Yiqian Mountain had been infused with the power of the 10 extreme immortal zombie lifeless formation and could defend from the powerful attacks. It absorbed all the attacks. Clouds and fog surged intensely for a while before it was calm again. The 4 rank 8 Gu Immortals' efforts showed no results. Their eyes shone with a ferocious light. They clenched their teeth as they attacked without stop. Their expressions gradually turned frantic. On Yitian Mountain, it was still a scene of serenity. Mortals were all kept in the dark, knowing nothing about the blood-curdling scene above them. So long as a fraction of the tribulations leaked out, they could destroy Yitian Mountain completely, and all the mortal Gu masters would turn into dust. Fang Yuan gazed at the sky heavily. Was there such a situation in my previous life as well? None of us knew death was right above us. Calm down, calm down. Fang Yuan took a few deep breaths and forcibly dispelled his nervousness and unease before starting to think. The shocking and enormous action taken by Shadow Sect schemed against the southern border Gu Immortals. Fang Yuan was also trapped within and could not extricate himself. Although He Lulan and Fairy Li Shan have joined this gamble, they are currently in Zhaohun Blessed Land, using Luopo Valley to cultivate their souls. This Gu formation cuts off links between the inside and outside. It even restricts all my communication methods.